Right. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our first webinar. I'm Aditi Sharma, and I'm the president of Girl Up Dubai. The Dubai chapter of Girl Up, a United Nations foundation which empowers and uplifts young women all over the world. And here at Girl Up Dubai, we do a lot of events and campaigns, such as this webinar, workshops, our podcast called Empower Her, where we talk one on one to women who are changing the world around them, and our magazine called Aspire Her. I'll now hand over to Bhumika to introduce today's speaker.
Hello everyone, I'm Bhumika Rajani, a researcher here at Girl Up Dubai. And on behalf of the club, I will be introducing our guest speaker for today, Ms. Shahra Jafar. Shahra made headlines in 2013 when her story as an outstanding young woman unable to afford her higher education went viral, and her story was published in multiple newspapers. Her story warmed the hearts of UAE readers and led her to receiving a 100% scholarship from Murdoch University for an undergraduate course in computer science. Not only that, but she graduated with distinction and was a recipient of the Vice Chancellor's Award for Academic Excellence in IT. Fast forward to today, where she is the head of school for foundation studies, program coordinator for science and engineering, and a lecturer at Curtin University, Dubai, and in general, a wonderful example of a female role model in STEM and IT. Without any further ado, the floor is all yours, Shahara.
Thank you so much, Bhumika, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, Uditi Sharma. Thank you so much for this, and it's a great honor to be here and kickstart this wonderful webinar that you have, and I hope you guys make a lot more of these and just grow higher. So yeah, Bhumika said, I am a lecturer right now and also the head of school for foundations and everything STEM related here at Curtin University. So obviously, if you had asked me if I would be here like 5, 6, or even 4 years ago, I would have said no, because I had different plans, and I believe where I am right now, I'm happy. So that's the important part I would want to say everyone over here before I start talking about anything, is that do whatever makes you happy, no matter where you are, or if you feel like you're sad, or if you feel like you're being compiled to do something, don't do it, even if it sounds so fancy, or even if whatever that is so fancier to do. If you're not happy, it's not worth doing. And that being said, here when Bhumika asked me to talk about being in a STEM related subject, where a lot of people think it's a male dominated area and so on, science, technology, engineer, mathematics is something they say females cannot process. I would like to say that's all a lie. It's all a myth. It's where you belong and what you like. But I'm very happy to see that the world is changing, because when I started my undergraduates, which was 6 years ago, oh my God, I'm growing too old. 6 years ago, I was the only girl in the class. I still remember I went to my first class, which was programming Java. And I was the only girl. There was a bunch of guys in the class. I had to open the door and I'm like, am I in the wrong room? Then he was like, no, come in, it's your class. So it was so difficult for me to be between all those males over there. But I was so lucky in the way where I found all the males over there very helpful, very compatible, including my lecturer. But fast forward 6 years down the lane, I see a lot of females, a lot of girls opting for science and computers and programming. I do teach a bunch of students as well, which is very, very amazing. And I believe these type of webinars is what encourages them to do such a wonderful task, or come up and stand, listen, I am going to do. Because yeah, when I said I want to do computer science, I love hardcore programming. I had my own reasons, because I didn't like talking to people. So I thought putting on headphones and start programming with a cup of coffee was my day. So that helped me to go where I am. And when I said that, people were looking at me and were like, isn't computer science for guys? Like, isn't that what guys supposed to do in softwares and stuff? And I'm like, who said that? Like, who put that mentality, or from where did you get that stereotype, or saying that this is male job or this is female job? No, nothing like that. Again, they say whatever good doesn't come easy. So no matter where you are, whatever you do, if it's good for you, you will never get it easy. So make sure you fight for it. You make sure you get it. Like Bhumika said, yes, I did get 100% scholarship. Let's say that I was like, oh my, you know what? I got it for free. Let me take it easy. Let me do whatever I want to do. Let me enjoy. Is like, yeah, I'm not saying you can't enjoy while studying or doing something you love. If you do something you love, you're enjoying automatically. So if I had taken that path saying that I got it for free, I'm not paying a penny, I don't want to study or something, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I worked hard. It wasn't easy. Like literally, there were days where I would pull an all-nighter for 4 days straight and I would be crying because I couldn't get a program straight or, get something. And looking back, and I'm like, that made me where I am right now. Like, I'm not here to say that it's going to be all flowers, you're going to see beautiful gardens over there. No, you're going to see a lot of thorns, you're going to push yourself, you're going to cry, you're going to stand up. At the end of the day, you have to stand up no matter where you are. Life goes on, and whoever tries to push you down. Here I'm not only saying that there is a male dominated area, so the males are going to push you down, or the guys. We do have enemies from our own community as well. There are females as well who's trying to push you down, or trying to say that, oh, how can she succeed and I'm not there. That mentality is what not making them succeed. So make sure you are doing what you need to do and always push yourself. There are days that are not good. There are days you're going to sit home and be like, you know what, I want to be in my own area. So make sure you take that time as well for yourself, so that you can come back the next day and say, listen, I'm going to break this glass ceiling right now. So make sure you do that. I just want to conclude by saying that no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter what you do, just do what you love. Just don't do certain things because someone else said that. Don't do it like, okay, Shahra is doing IT, so she is where she is right now, so I also need to do IT. That's not how interest works. Interest should work deep down inside you. You want to be a chef? Go ahead, be a chef. You want to be a homemaker? Go be a homemaker. Anything that makes you happy. You want to become an astronaut? You can do it only with your willpower, with your interest, no matter how many of you tries to push the other one down. I did have a lot of people. Just a little example. I am just 5'2". Okay, imagine a 5'2" getting into a classroom as a lecturer where I do look like a student most of the time. So it was very difficult to be where I am right now. So at the end of the day, it's about how you take those. You can either choose to be in the bad line of your area or the good line of the area. It depends upon how you take it. There is going to be a lot of issues that's going to been thrown at you. So at the end of the day, it's your decision to be good or to be bad, or to use those all negative energy that you're getting and make it positive. So you need to have that in you, saying that no matter whoever's going to throw bad at me, I am going to fight for it. So that being said, STEM is, though it was said as a male dominated area, a lot of girls like you over here is making changes, which is amazing. And keep going and keep doing whatever you want to do. And thanks for giving me such an opportunity to share my journey as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shahar. It was an absolute pleasure to hear your words. It was such an inspiration. And we have a few questions that were submitted by the people who registered using our Google form link. The first question comes from Sarah Sunil, and she asks, what or who inspired you to take up a career in STEM? What challenges did you face and how were you able to overcome them?
Okay, the interest being is because I didn't like accounting, I didn't like business, so nothing interests me. So if you see something and that catches your feelings and you start being happy. For me, taking STEM, like taking math or engineering and so on, it's about, for me, it was solving something. And when you solve in STEM related areas, you get the results instantly, and you seeing that made me so happy. So that being said, that's why I chose from a very young age itself. I wanted to be something computer science. More specific in STEM is computer science for me, where I needed to program, I needed to see areas. I have programmed more than 1,000 lines. Trust me, none of them ran in the first time. I had to find so many errors in compiling. It wasn't fun, but once you get the result, it was fun. So that inspired me. And the challenges, like I said, I was at the verge of giving up because I used to go to classes with 20, 30 guys, and I will be the only girl. And when they wanted to group up, none of them wanted to group up with me because they thought I was not as intellectual or smart as them, so they would score less. But then later on, they realized it was much better to group up with me than with other guys. So those things, I was at verge of giving up. And STEM is not something easy. Of course, it's not impossible, but it gets a lot of stress, gives you a lot of stress. Trust me, I'm 25 and already have a lot of gray hairs. I blame on my students though, but still. So it is a lot of stressful work. And I did have a lot of depression and anxiety. But then I always tell myself, how did I overcome? Is because I always tell myself, this is what you chose. No one pushed it down your throat. You chose it. So make sure that you tell yourself you can do this every day. So that's why I always tell, do something you like, not someone forced you. If someone forced you, right, you're going to be like, I don't want to do it. So why am I even doing it? So I always look into my mirror and say that, listen, you chose this. So it was your fault. So get up and go fix it. So that's how I overcome that as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And the second question comes from Rashida, and this is regarding your career. So how did you manage to grow financially strong, and when did you discover teaching as your profession?
That's a very funny story. Teaching was never my profession. All I wanted to do was finish my undergraduate and go back to the organization where I have to sit and code. So you know how they say you decide something, but the life has something else completely written for you. So it was my last day of my education, my undergraduate. I was sitting and doing my program. I see the CEO of the company walking in saying that, so what do you think about teaching? And I'm like, I have never thought about it. So I have this thing in me, which I would want all of you over here to have, is that saying that if you're not going to lose anything, it's worth the try. Take the risk if you're not going to lose. If you're not going to hurt someone, if you're not going to hurt yourself, if it's not going to cost you any trouble, take it, do it. So in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm going to graduate. I don't have a job yet. I got this opportunity. Why should I turn it down? I'm not going to lose anything. So I took it and I never looked back. And that's how I was like, oh my God, this is something I love doing. So sometimes you don't know what you want. And when it is given to you is when you realize this is something you would love doing it. So it gave to me and I was like, I took it. But trust me, the first day of the class, I was more nervous than the students. So I was like really nervous and I was like, you know what? I don't think I can do it. But then I challenged myself. I went back, I thought, and then I'm like, you know what? I love doing it. So when I wake up in the morning right now, I don't feel like I'm working or I feel like I am stressed or something. So I love what I'm doing. That's how I knew this was for me, or else I wouldn't be doing it for 5 years now. Financially stable, it was not easy. I wouldn't say I am financially stable even now because I have to take care of my family as well. This is another thing that a lot of people need to understand. There are females who take care of the family as well. It's not only male. You can't just see a family and be like, oh, there is a brother, so maybe he's the one who's taking care of the family. No, that's not the case. So when you have a family to take care of, it's not always easy to be financially stable. I do give up a lot of, I sacrifice a lot to see my family happy or something. So it's about how you want and what you have to say. Yes, I earn. That does not mean I have to spend it in a lavish thing. So, just try to keep something, save. I used to save a lot because I don't, in a food, if I have to survive with lunch or dinner, I'll just choose dinner and survive with it. Back in the day, right now, I'm in a very better position. That's because why? Because I chose my things wisely when I was young. They say what you do at your younger age is gonna follow you no matter what they say. Okay, so what the choices that I made when I was very young is where I am right now. I'm 26 and I'm already the head of school. I do have a lot of people, friends who are nowhere near because they made bad choices. See, bad choices are okay. We are humans. We do make mistakes, but then make sure that you're smart enough to correct them. Don't be like, you know what, I did it, so I'm going to follow it. I'm not saying that I was always perfect, or I'm not saying that I'm still perfect, by the way. I do make a lot of mistakes, which I wish I hadn't. But then you realizing those mistakes is where you're going to be right now. I'm much better financially right now than I was before, is because I chose to start working with a very young age rather than just chilling or thinking, I'm just a teen, I need to have fun. Have fun, but at the same time, be responsible as well. I'm sorry I talk too much, by the way, just saying.
No, we love that. I love how much you're talking. Honestly, it's like we appreciate it a lot. And next question from my side. As far as your future goals are concerned, what are some future projects, if you're allowed to tell us, that you're working on in your personal or even your professional life?
Okay. So I am doing my PhD right now. I did create my proposal and give it to them, and my proposal got accepted. Yay! So that's good. And my proposal was on VR technology for education. So that's one of the proposal that I'm working on right now, which I should start next year, hopefully. And then personally, I do have certain goals. I'm so into cars, so I have like in next 2 years, I need to get. See, this is how I work. Like I put a deadline. Like in next 2 years, I need to get a car because I love cars and I have a car in mind. So I'm just gonna say it. It's a Dodge Challenger, which I love. So in 2 years, I need to get it. So I would do anything for that. So that's in my personal life, and professional is my PhD, which is very important right now. And then of course after PhD, I want to start working in research paper and submit paper. Can you imagine, I used to hate writing, and now I'm sitting here and talking about to writing papers. This is what life is, so amazing. So that is what. And even if I'm not able to reach my goal in next 2 years, I would put another extra 2 years. I would never give up, but I'll just keep on adding it to it until I die. So that is, I would disappoint myself a lot because I was supposed to have my Dodge by this year end, but life happened. So I added 2 more years because COVID happened, right? Who likes COVID here? Like none of us. So yeah.
That's great. It's like so wonderful to see how you never give up on your goals and you're constantly pursuing them. It's so admirable. If there's anybody else in the attendees who would like to put forward a question, please just raise your hand. And Shahar, would you be open to more questions in that case?
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm more than happy to. If I
Okay,
could help
so
someone.
our club president, Aditi, please go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, it was so cool hearing all about Shahar's experience. And even I'm interested in pursuing computer science for my undergraduate. So, Shahara, as a lecturer, do you have any advice for someone who's looking to pursue computer science in the future?
Yes, I do. This is what I tell a lot of my students as well. I know you are doing a lot of stuff in your school, but make sure that you also try to, create a base. Because when you come to a undergraduate, what we think is that you're already an adult. So we stop spoon feeding you. So what it's a big change for students when they come to the undergraduate. They think that we're going to spoon feed, give notebooks, give notes. We're not going to do that. We think you're an adult and we let you do whatever you want to do. So I'll say a lot of my students is that during your summer break or your winter break, try learning something. Now the very famous programming language that's going all around the world is called as Python, and that is the easiest and very common programming language. So there are a lot of resources. What I say my students is take it as a project. Maybe take a game and try working on that game. So when you come to undergraduate, you realize that, okay, fine, I already have some sort of ideas. So learn Java, C, and Python. These are the three languages that is the entire computer science is based on. So make sure you prepare yourself. No one's like, you don't have to have a timing or say that, oh, every day for 2 hours I need to do this. No, when you're sitting simply, when you're bored, there are times, right, when you feel like no to do anything, just open a YouTube video, put it about the programming language and start listening to it. So prepare yourself so that you don't feel like, we are throwing a lot at you when you start coming to university. And it's not going to be an easy unit, by the way, not an easy course at all. So warning you for that. So yeah. I guess I'm done. I feel like you people are like expecting me to talk a lot.
No. I think, Aditi, do you have anything more to ask or?
No, that was a great response. Do we have any more questions over here?
Yeah. If you
Just
don't
like
feel
feel free to write them in the
comfortable,
chat.
yeah, if you're not comfortable like unmuting yourself, then it's completely okay to just drop it in the chat box. We wait a few minutes.
Yeah, sure, no problem. It's okay, guys. You can ask me a question. I swear there is no question that is dumb or silly. You can ask me. I'll answer anything. You want to know how beautiful my hair is? I'll answer that as well. So it's okay. You can ask me anything.
Okay, yeah. Since we don't have any more questions, I was wondering what the biggest like mistake you see as a lecturer your students doing in college or like in high school, like things we
Okay.
can avoid doing.
Yeah, it's you know what I feel is that a lot of students think it's just they need to pass the unit. That's the worst thing that you can think of. It's not about passing, it's about understanding. So let's say there are group assignments. What they do is they let the one work on it and it's like, you know what, I just need to get a pass. So I just need to pass. So when you do that and when you go to an organization, you haven't learned anything, right? So make sure that you at least learn something. I always tell my student, have you learned something from this unit? It doesn't have to be that you know everything, because we are going to learn every trimester. It's knowledge is a learning process. But then don't take it as, you know what, I just want to graduate, I just want to show my mom and my dad my progress report and that's enough. That's not how it works. It's about you grasping something. So if I'm going to teach you 10 points, even if you grasp 2 points out of it, is where I win. So you need to understand what you're learning, no matter whatever you're learning. Let's be account, chef, or whatever it may be. Not only in STEM, it's about you understanding something. If you're just going to write the exam just mugging up or just to get the points, I don't think you will reach anywhere in future in organization at all. So that's what, understand something. I at least tell, understand 1 point. As a lecturer, I won, like I did my job. So yeah.
All right. So we have one question from Arya in the chat. Thank you so much. Do you ever feel burnt out? And if you do, how do you ever deal with that?
Oh yeah, that's a burnout is an understatement. Like I don't know how many mental breakdowns did I have in this past 6 7 years. Yes, there are times, because at the end of the day, like I say, we all are humans. We do have emotions. We also feel like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I did feel that a week ago. Actually, I was in the bed for the past 2 days. Like I felt like I can't do anything anymore. That's how burnt out I feel sometimes. But like I say, I never give up. This is something you have to grow inside you as a year passes. You should be like, you know what, life goes on. Just because you're burned out, it's like the entire world is not going to stop for you, right? It's keep on going to go. So it's okay to take a time out. Like, the second day I just got up, I showered, I put all the skincare and I took care of myself. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to take this world down. So it's okay to close yourself, lock yourself in a room, get yourself out, cry, scream, do whatever you want to do, but always tell to your subconscious mind that life is going to go and you're going to get back up, and no one's going to pull you back up. This is something no one understands. No matter you have family, you have siblings, you have friends, you have a boyfriend, partner, whoever is it, but at the end of the day, you got only you, and you're the only one who's going to pull yourself back up. Take your time off, cry, scream, be low, no problem at all, because we are humans. We are okay to do that. But where a lot of people go wrong is when you stay down. Don't stay down. Get up and do your thing, and do it twice than how you did before. Then again, get burned out, cry again, come back. Get burned out, cry again, come back. But the main consistent thing here should be coming back even stronger than you were before. So that's how. Maybe I read books, I listen to songs. So these are things that help me. It does not necessarily that it would help you. Try and learn of what you say, because I learn about myself every day, and that's how it is going to be for all of you as well. So learn, see something that's going to clear your mind. I listen to a lot of podcasts. That's what makes me happy or gets me into the mood, or read books. So try and learn. It's all about trial and error. See what you like, and trust me, it's okay to be burned out. It's nothing wrong when you're burned out or no. Yeah, that's human nature. So it's going to be fine. Just know that it is going to be fine.
I feel like that's some really good advice that we all could use, especially for us students. Like when we're, in our last few years of high school, and we've constantly got assignments. It's just like a prequel to what's coming in college, I believe, because they say it gets a lot worse during that time,
Yeah.
and then your professional career after that. We've got three more questions in the chat. Shahar, would you like me to read them, or do you want to look at them yourself?
I will just look at them and sorry, it's fine. I don't want you to start read it. What do you know when you feel down? What do you do when you feel down? How to motivate yourself when everything that you do is exhausting? Oh yeah, that's there. So, sometimes I feel like I do a lot and none of us around me is, appreciating it or, saying good things about it. Sometimes I do something and I'm so proud of myself and none of them around me actually even notice it. And that makes me feel so low and feels like, why am I even doing it? Then when I feel like that, when I feel like no one around me is appreciating me or something, this again, which I said I'm touched upon earlier, is about you're doing it for yourself. You don't need anyone's approval, appreciation, or anything. If they give you, take it, be happy. If they don't let that stop from being the superwoman you are. Just keep doing it, because I believe whatever good you do, the universe will reciprocate it and give it back to you. You do good, you'll get it. Let it be 10 years down the line, 5 years down the lane. Always have this hope and believe that you keep on shining, and one fine day you will get the shine back. So if you're gonna always gonna sit down and wait for someone's appreciation, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna be happy or never gonna feel happy with yourself. So make sure you actually, and Rashida asked me what would I do if I'm very low, or take a hot shower, take a cold shower, whatever you feel like it, cold shower, and yeah, cry, like literally cry. Crying is okay. Crying is not weakness. Crying is literally taking all your toxicity inside your body and just putting it out. Cry how much ever you want, scream how much ever you want. So it's okay to do all of those. At the end of the day, if you're going to get back up and say that, where is my World War III? So if you're going to do that, then it's completely fine. Keep being down, low or down. And if you need any help, see, another thing, we all might have that one person with us which we trust completely. Even if you don't, it's okay, because I don't. I am my one person which I trust. So have that. Talk to yourself. If something you like talking to yourself, I do that a lot. I look into the mirror, I keep talking. I don't even know what I talk, but I'll talk. But if you have another human being which you trust, talk to them. It's okay to tell whatever you feel like telling, but make sure that person completely understands and trusts you, or you trust them. Because sometimes, yeah, we are humans, right? We tend to bring it back when we fight or when we have arguments. So make sure you trust them first. If no, then talk to yourself, record yourself talking, scream at yourself. So maybe talking will calm you down. Or some people like writing, so write it down. Writing does not work for me. I don't know why, because maybe my handwriting is bad. But talk to yourself. Yeah, that's another thing. What's the next question? I answered Russia. Do you like STEM since you were a child, or did you have other interests initially? That's a very nice question. I did have other interests initially. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician or a gynecologist. But then what happened is, when you grow, we have a lot of interest. When I was young, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to, be Navy and so on. All these are gonna narrow down when you start working and studying and understanding what you like at the end of the day. So when I was in 10th or 11th, I realized, you know what, I feel like I was more happy with STEM, because our interest keeps on changing. If you asked me 5 years before if I like certain thing, I would have said, no way, I wouldn't have liked it. So it's about how consistent you are with your liking and how important and happiness that it gives you. So once I have was open to Java, that was the first programming language I did, that gave me more happiness than any other profession that I initially thought it gave. And I'm happy. I'm happy where I am right now. Maybe that might not be the case with you. I do have a lot of people who have changed their careers completely after 15, 20 years down in the lane because it was not giving you happiness. That's what I'm telling here. It is not, your life might not be exactly as my life is, right? So maybe you will have your career change or anything. What I'm saying here is, be bold to do that. Be happy to do that. Just for 15 years, I was a chef and now I want to be a doctor or I want to be a lecturer. Don't stop yourself saying that, you know what, I wasted 15 years. Do you think anyone will accept me to be a lecturer or teacher? Doesn't matter. You don't need anyone's approval. At the end of the day, it's your happiness. So make sure you know what gives you happiness and just go chase that. Yeah. What do you like to do outside of work that helps keep you motivated? Importance of hobbies, interests outside of work. That's a very nice question. Yeah. We are always talking about work. So something out of work is also really, really necessary. For me personally, I love dancing. I do dance a lot. And I also do programming for fun. You know, I'm a website developer as well. So for freelancing, for free, like let's say my friend has a company and she or he wanted a website, I'll simply sit and code a website. I'll simply sit and write something. And dancing, I love escape rooms, you know, solving puzzles and everything. So I do that. Long drives is something I love doing. So the end of these all things that I realized throughout the year. It didn't just come to me one fine day and be like, you know what, this is what I like doing. So throughout the year, like I would I got my license 3 years back, I guess. So before that, I used to think that I cannot drive. Like I cannot drive to save my life, because I used to think that I am so indecisive, or I cannot draw a straight line, by the way. So I thought I cannot keep the car in the lane. Yeah, I'll keep on moving. But if you ask me now, oh my God, I drive like a maniac, where I can just literally drive for hours and hours. So it's about you challenging yourself. Imagine, was my assumption that I cannot drive. So imagine, because of that assumption, I never tried it. Think that I never went to the driving class. And I was like, you know what, I cannot drive, I cannot drive, I cannot drive. And I never went. I wouldn't love driving as much as I do right now. So it's about facing those fears. I went to the class, I went and I did it. And right now, that was one of the best decisions that I have made in after professional life, getting a license, because that is something that clears my mind a lot. Do you have any podcast recommendation? Okay, my podcasts are completely different from, I don't listen to any motivation. I'm very into horror stuff and murder stuff. So I listen to those kind of podcasts. So I don't know if you guys are interested in those. So I am very gory that way. Motivation, I give it to myself. So yeah, that way. So if you are interested in those type of podcasts, I can give that names as well. As a professor, what is a piece of advice you would give high school students or university students in terms of being balancing studies with other hobbies and interests? Okay. This is what I do state, because there are other lecturers who say that education is important, so keep studying. Yes, education is important, but if you're not going to have fun, you know, you're not going to have enjoyment with your friends or other things, it's not going to balance your life. I do have my students, let's say that if you're studying in my class, I give a day or 2 day off, where I tell my students, like I force them to go for a movie in a group, or go out and have fun, have lunch or dinner, because it's very important. Balancing is important. And how can you achieve that? Is beforehand. Don't wait till the end. Beforehand itself, put a schedule. You know, in that schedule, you know how when I was young, I used to have a schedule of, today I'm going to study science, today I'm going to study English, you know, that type of scheduling. Now in that scheduling itself, add, today I'm going to have fun with my friend, I'm going to go out today, I'm going to do this thing, this is one thing that I'm going to do, this is one of the small bucket lists that I'm going to do. So add those things in your bucket list as well, and try to balance them. Never put one thing over the other. If you're going to just study, that's going to overexpose you, and you're not going to love anything that you do. And if you're going to enjoy, of course, it's not going to take you anywhere financially. So a very good balance of both is very, very important. When I mean by having fun, it's not necessary that you have to go out with your friends or so on. Like I said multiple times, I'm not a very social person. I don't have a lot of friends around me, so on. But when I mean by enjoying, I just go out, have food alone, or go for movies, or go for long drives. Getting your mind relaxed is also important, but it's not necessary that you have to be in a group of people or do. Find what's enjoyable for yourself and schedule it properly. I help my students to do that. So if you are going to join me in my class, then I'll help you as well. It's like scheduling beforehand itself. You know, this many units are you going to do. You know, these are the 4 subjects or 5 subjects you're going to learn. Put a schedule. And you know, when are the deadlines of the exams or so on. Put a schedule for that, and add having fun inside that as well. No matter what. Maybe just be like, on Fridays, I will not do any other work of education or profession or something like that. I will not do it. I'm only going to have fun. I'm going to watch a movie, eat junk food, okay, bucket of ice cream, and I'm going to sit and just follow that. On Saturday, I'm just going to do all these works on perfect time. Yeah. If you're going to work like that, you can go anywhere in this life. Do you ever deal with criticism, judgment from others regarding your career choice? How do you deal with that? Oh, yes, I do. Career choice. I have got a lot of criticism for so many things. One thing being, I hated public speaking. I wouldn't say I hated. I used to have fear of public speaking where I used to stammer. I used to have, I will be like, and I wouldn't say. So I did have a lot of criticism saying that, how are you going to be a lecturer? Isn't lectures all about talking and being confident? You don't have that in you. And you know how short you are? I have gotten a lot of those. You know how short you are, you have to wear at least 6-inch heels to even look like a lecturer or even look like you're an adult or so on. I have gotten that a lot, and it did put me low or down for quite a while. I'm like, I can't do this, I don't want to go anyways, like, and I just want to be home, and so on. I want to say this is a very personal answer as well, but I want to see it out there if it's going to help someone. I am a daughter with no dad. Like, I have my mom and my 2 brothers. So I did hear a lot of things as well. I'm from an Indian family. So I'd hear saying that, oh, aren't you a girl? Weren't you supposed to be getting married and have kids and so on? You don't even have a dad. Why do you have to make all these decisions in your life? Isn't this too much? And all those things, I have heard all of them. And trust me, though it made me low, and it made me feel so sad. There were days I used to cry and sit. Those are the things sometimes I think help me to be where I am. Because I'm a person personally, if you tell me that I cannot do, I'll do it twice and I'll show you that I can do it. So, and I think all of you should have it in a good way, by the way, not the bad things, obviously. So when I heard all those from people, especially, trust me, some of them even came from the people that they called close friends of mine or relatives of mine. So when I heard all those, I'm like, you know what? I will do it. I will make sure that I will be the perfect. Of course, perfect is an understatement because no one is. I will be close to perfect in what I do and show them that this is what I did, and you can be, see how I am. And trust me, this can make it look like I'm proud, I'm proud, or, I have a pride, but there are people who spoke about me like that below me, looking at me and asking, can I, do you have any opportunity for me or so on? I'm not saying that gave me happiness, but I'm saying that gave me happiness for me to see where I have come. It gives me happiness to think those words from them didn't push me down. Those words from them didn't make me choose a very wrong path and hate myself. Imagine, there were days actually to where I used to sit and think like, you know what, I'll just get married and just go away from there. I don't want to do anything. Trust me, there were days like that as well. But then I always get up and say that, no, if that's the case, I'm letting them win. You're not winning, you're letting them win. So you can't let them win, and you can't compromise on things that you like. So always, no matter where you are down, always get up and say you're gonna chase whatever you want to chase. So that's it. You're welcome, Rashida. So I guess those are the questions. If you have any more, I'm more than happy to. And I'm so happy that you guys asked questions, so it doesn't look like I'm talking to just a blank screen. I can only see Bhumika's face, so yeah.
If it's okay, I would like to ask one more question as well. So you mentioned how people don't really regard women as family heads, and to go against that statement on an everyday basis is such a battle in itself. So growing up, who were the female role models within your life itself who encouraged you to not go with the traditional stereotypes that were forced upon you?
The only women in my life, I would say, is my mom, because of course she lost her husband at a very young age, but then she never stopped me by saying that, you know what, it's done, it's enough, you have to get married now. Even now, she never opens her mouth and says that you want to get married. The only thing she asks me is that, what's next, or what do you want to do next? Is there anything professional? So you need to find. So for me, it is my mom. She never stopped me. I would come back home and say that, listen, I need to go to an event right now, can I just go? She would never stop me and ask me that, why, you don't have to just go to work or come. She never stopped me. She always believed in me. And whatever I say, she never questioned or say. But she'll always have, how parents have this taunting thing. She's like, I know you're doing something good, so I know you will not do anything wrong that would cause family, bad name. So it's okay, you can do it. So that's the taunting she would say, but she never stopped me. And also, I would say she was a great inspiration because, come on, when you were my mom, she never remarried, of course, and she had 3 kids. She raised all 3 of them, being a single mother. So seeing her makes me feel like I can do anything. And in a very different country, by the way, this is not her mother country, and so on. So you need to find that. I would never call anyone as my inspiration or something, because at the end of the day, your life is yours. So you can't relate yourself with anyone. But when I saw my mom, or, see still, so it's something made me feel like, what, if she can do it, of course I can. Whatever I'm doing is not even close to what she's doing, obviously, because she was pretty young when she lost her husband. Of course, she wanted her happiness as well in any way or form, but she sacrificed those just to raise 3 notorious kids. Can you imagine? So when I saw that, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I can do it. So I would say she was the one. And whenever my brothers also sometimes say something, she'll be like, so what? She's the one who's feeding you, so be quiet. So I am still doing the same. I would take myself as the head of the family. No matter what, they run to me and say that, can we get help from this? And I think that's amazing. And I think each one of the female in this room should learn that it's not the male can be. I'm not saying that it's male cannot. Of course they can be, but at the same time, we can, as a female, also be the head of the family and run the family in a very beautiful way and reach heights.
Okay, that was the last question, I believe, unless there's anybody else who would like to ask anything. If not, then I think we can go ahead and just move forward to the closing ceremony. So a big thank you to everyone who attended and took part in today's session. The enthusiasm and questions from your side, I really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoyed this webinar as much as we enjoyed organizing it. And of course, many, many thanks are owed to Ms. Shahra for taking the time out of her busy schedule to share her experiences with us. It was such an honor to have you with us for this session, and we wish you all the best in every single one of your future endeavors. And that brings us to the end of this webinar. We hope to see all of you in our future events.
Thank you so much. It was an honor for me to be here as well. And I hope you make a lot of more webinars with all these and grow height as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shahra. I'll just end the meeting now, all right? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.